The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give them 15 yards to start their first drive of the game. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Back to Walker on first down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucks and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's putted out our house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis.
I don't see Logan trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw, Mayfield. And connecting here with DJ Sharp. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 31-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory, down at the 31. Walker now on 1st and 10. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 10 more there and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Noah Fant with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return.
And he returns this to the 22. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Flush to his right. Well, he's going to take a shot right away.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Hey, 43.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Follow up a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
This is caught inside the 15. A big play there for KC. 68 yards.
One thing that we know for sure, do not question the arm strength of Patrick Mahomes, one of the strongest around.
And that's how you start a drive, because you know they have this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity. Unleashed it big time, and that was also a big-time throw.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Butker's kick here is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll get a couple up to the 29. This defense for the Chiefs, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
On 3rd down, Mayfield escaping the pressure right.
That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch.
He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 38. Here's Mayfield.
Throw out wide to Walker. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On 2nd down, it's Walker.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
72 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Now Mayfield.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Justin Reed.
And the Chiefs are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. How you like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you?
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And they work this out past the 25. After one, a 14-3 ball game.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
The Chiefs at 4 and 10 now on the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset, being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Mahomes.
And this pass caught by Gray.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City.
Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that Plague did on the last one.
Mayfield's throw into the hands of Fant.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On third down, here's Walker.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side.
He's got a man, complete.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Walker with another carry. 91 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first down.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here's Walker.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal?
Walker is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We're soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't give the ball away on 4th and goal. And the ball's going to be going back to the Chiefs. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he coughed it up. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a tough turnover there as now they will have it at the 6-yard line, 1st and goal.
Well, that sure started out as a good example of what they call backed up or coming out on offense, meaning you're backed up close to your own goal line. Big-time emphasis on practicing that.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
Kenneth Walker with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And this one is incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, Walker. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. So on 4th down, Pete Carroll's going to call out his field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick is good. And the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's 24-3. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Well, remember, he had a fumble earlier in this first half and got saved, but no such saving here. It's a turnover.
Yeah, and as a coach and as a teammate, you're hoping that he learned from the first one. There was a lesson there. But obviously he doesn't have enough focus in order to lose it a 2nd time. That simply can't happen if you're trying to win a game.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Hey, alert!
From the gun, it's Walker. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Mayfield now. Throw left side complete. That's Walker. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Out of the gun, Walker with it. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Again, Walker, and a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier and was bidding for a 2nd. Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. And it's caught. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They'll run for it. It's Walker. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker with his 19th touchdown, his second of the game. And the Seahawks continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A gain of 2.
Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
At the 27-yard line.
So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It'll be the Chiefs football to begin quarter number 3, and they trail here as we are back underway now on EA Sports. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1.
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Jordan Brooks with it.
And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Partner, I see you reaching for the white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why. Because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game, because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Mayfield to throw it. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Bo Melton.
A 20-yard touchdown.
And the Seahawks have taken a 5-touchdown lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage. 17 on the play. Now here's Mahomes. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
119 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
This pass complete to Melton.
So he stopped for no gain, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And he'll take this one down to the 36. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Mayfield. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Kevin Byard.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
Sticking with Walker on second down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 147 yards rushing for him so far in this one as he nears 1,400 for the year. On first down, McFarland.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
On the counter, it's Walker.
And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. 9 good yards there on the run, and now third down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. Third and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And they'll get him down right around the 16.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. Throwing, Mayfield. He's got his tight end fan. And they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on, there is a flag down. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown.
Derek Young,
26 yards.
and the Seahawks will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And the Chiefs are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, Doug. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And now here is another interception. Jordan Brooks with it. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
And this will not be returned. It'll